Hey, dear listeners, just a gentle reminder that you can support the Indoob Network by subscribing to the Indoob Patreon at patreon.com/Indoob.
But hold up, Sterling. I keep hearing about this website. What is Patreon?
So glad you asked. Patreon is a membership platform where subscribers can pay, fund, or donate to creators for content. In other words, if you subscribe for a small monthly fee, you can get bonus podcasts, reviews, videos, and just awesome extra goodies from the Indoob Network.
So all that extra stuff we couldn't fit in this episode they're listening to right now will be on the Patreon?
Exactly, and so much more.
Oh, really? Well, where does my money go?
Well, podcasts cost money. Microphones, conferencing software, and host websites aren't free. So every little bit that a patron chips in helps produce the content they already love and enjoy. And for your contributions, based on how much you give per month, we'll unlock more perks to be enjoyed that are created specifically for patrons.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So where do I go again?
Patreon.com/Indoob. Browse around. Some posts are free. Most are $1, but you're free to do more and you will get more. And we at the Indoob Network will certainly appreciate the help keeping the studio lights on.
That's for sure. And thank you to the patrons that are already supporting and enjoying all that extra bonus content. Like that one video where you did that one thing you said you wouldn't, couldn't, and shouldn't do.
Oh, I know. And I almost got killed to death trying to do it, but I did it and now it's done.
That was hilarious.
Good times.
Good times.
FX presents the Indoob Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indoobians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indoob Podcast, where morning drive time meets late night talk show, as we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive. Cordy, how you doing?
I am great. How are you doing?
I am spectacular. And
awesome.
Yes, this is episode 142. I actually checked ahead of time, so I know, because I'm always like, are we at 340? Yeah, so I checked. So 142, kept track. There's no special significant number I can think of that goes along with 142, other than the number 42 being the answer to everything. I think the question is a little bit longer. Or rather, no, we don't know what the question is. We just know what the answer is. And the answer is 42.
42, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. But that was the answer. So
right.
Guess we're on it.
And do you know what I'm referring to?
I don't.
Okay. I kind of had a feeling. But that's just a reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
So
Yes.
I've heard that reference before. I just never knew where it came from, and I never really asked.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good to know. Yeah.
Right. It is the answer to everything, like in just everything. And what they did long ago is they built the supercomputer, and it took the computer like 1 billion years to figure out the answer to life and everything. I forget exactly how the answer is actually phrased, as in like the answer is, and then the answer actually is 42. But they ended up having to create another computer to determine exactly what the question was.
Because that's important. I feel like that's relevant.
It really is. And that computer is the planet Earth. And just as it was about to be calculated or figure out what the question was, the Earth was destroyed. So,
oh, yikes.
and
So
that
we were
begins.
so close.
We were so
and
close.
Okay, got it.
So that pretty much begins the novel of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Wow. Now I need to read this. I never knew that. And now I need to know what happens. I'm so invested now. And I feel like my literary journey isn't complete until I read this book.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen the movie either. So
I mean, this would be the perfect time to show you the teaser trailer because, and I think this goes back to a couple episodes ago when I was asked, or we were asked rather, what are maybe our favorite movie trailers. And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has one of my favorite teasers. Mm-hmm. Because it starts out with showing the planet Earth and Louis Armstrong playing. Well, no. Let me set it up for you first.
Okay, set it up for me. I'm so sorry.
It shows you planet Earth as it like backs away, like the sun is shining on it, and Louis Armstrong is in the back singing "Wonderful World."
What a wonderful world! Yes.
Yeah, and he's doing all that, and then all of a sudden, Earth does explode. Yes.
Oh God.
And in the middle of the explosion, all of a sudden it just freeze frames and then it says, "Don't panic," which happens to be the I almost want to call it the tagline, but it's on the cover of the actual Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Don't panic.
Yeah. So wherever you are in the galaxy, it's basically telling you, don't panic. Just look at this guide and we will help you. You know.
Wow. I need to. But so, do you know if the book starts that way, where it's just like, hey, something crazy is happening. Don't panic. We got you.
I don't remember. I did read it. I read it once in college, and it's actually 5 novels, and I've read maybe I think 2 or 3 of them, and it's an easy read. It really is. So like, you know, but then again, you are a oh man, I want to use a word that I'm not sure if I'm using it correctly. It starts with a V, like ferocious or precocious. I don't know. Ferocious, maybe?
Voracious.
You're a vibrant reader. How about that?
That'll work.
Yes. Such a vibrant thing. That's a different word. It's VIVRNT.
I think you're looking for voracious.
Voracious? Okay. Mm-hmm. You read a lot and you read, you know, relatively quickly. So I don't worry about you. Like if I recommend like this particular set of novels, you pretty much breeze through them within, I don't know, a couple weeks. Just
I don't know.
Casual reading.
My veracity has slowed in recent years, but thank you for the compliment.
I mean, I see you. Maybe you're not doing it now, but like in a couple years from now, you'd be on Doctor Strange level of reading, where you'd just be asleep, just flipping through pages in the astral plane.
I'd love to astral project and do such things. I would love it, actually.
But I do recommend that. In the meantime, I think what I'll do, I'll have to put like a note so I can remind myself to send you that teaser trailer, because like it is up there for me for like it does the job in getting you hype for the movie, especially if you know the book. And I think it was one of the few times that I actually read the book before I saw the movie. So, or I knew the movie was coming. So I was like, okay, let me read this book. And then, I mean, I liked the movie. I don't know how other people felt about the movie, but I liked it. I thought it was good. And a key thing to note, I'm just letting other people know this as well. And I'm also letting you know that Douglas Adams, who is the author that wrote the book, and he kind of shepherded, there was a radio show at one point, or a radio drama, or actually it was a comedy, whatever, and even a TV show. Each of them, including the movie, he had already passed away by the time the movie came out, but like each of them has like little differences here and there, so it's not meant to be directly like the novel, and that's the way he wanted it. So
nice. I love it.
So those of you who are like those purists, like it's not like the novel, and like, yeah, that's the point. So it's not supposed to be. Like enough of the same beats are there. Like the planet still explodes. We still meet the same cast of characters, and they're still going on these crazy adventures. So most of that's still there. But they never came out with a sequel, and I was a little, bummed by it, but I understand it didn't make as much money as probably they hoped. But still, it's a good journey. It's one of those movies that if it's on, even though I'm not really, I'm not really in that world anymore. Now that I've cut the cable, I'm not flipping through channels. But back in those days, in cable days, if it were on, I would watch it.
Gotcha. Well, every time I think of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the movie, for some reason I always conflate that movie with what is it, Mars Attacks.
Okay.
I don't know why.
There's a campiness there, so I
maybe
think
that's what it is.
That might be it. Yeah,
it's got to be the camp or the cheese or something. But
there are squishy aliens involved in both.
Yes. Oh, in both. Okay. Well, that's got to be it, because I always see the aliens from. Is it When Mars Attacks or just Mars Attacks? I don't know.
I think it's just Mars Attacks, or rather Mars Attacks, because there's an exclamation point, so you need to stress it.
Well, regardless, it is always, I always conflate the two, and I never really know which one anyone is ever talking about. So yeah.
Also, Mars Attacks is directed by Tim Burton, and it's got it doesn't have that. I'm pretty sure it does. Those are spaceships flying around, but then again, there are spaceships flying around in Hitchhiker's Guide. Mars Attacks is also an older movie, maybe, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 years. So
it's a big jump.
Yeah, I mean, it's significantly older, because I remember like where I was, and like I was still a kid, and like some of it was still like, I mean, Jack Nicholson was still acting because he was in it, and it's much more earthbound than Hitchhikers is. So there's pretty big significant differences. So
okay, good to know. I'll have to check out both of them at some point, simply because I don't know, they're classics, and I need to be part of the cheese in the camps.
Right. I would strongly recommend them. Like if it's something you need to some escapism, or you need a bit of a detox, or there's just full of drama, because both of them are very colorful films, and I would definitely recommend them if you just need something light and kind of breezy. And I say that a little, like, even though both of them have the world in peril, so to speak. I'm trying not to really spoil it, but there's just a whole lot that happens. And I know there's rules about movies that are like older than 10 years that like, if it's that old, then I'm at liberty to spoil it, but because I'm talking to you, I'm going to keep that, alive and open. So. Okay.
I'll take it. So which one would you suggest starting with? Galaxy or Mars?
I would say Galaxy, because that one is a bit lighter, even though there's a lot more that happens. From my childhood memory of seeing Mars Attacks, that one, it is a bit more mature, and that's also based on like the ratings, because Galaxy is rated PG and Mars is rated PG-13.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And even then, like I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that to happen, even though a lot of it was played for laughs. And I think if I were to watch it now, I probably would get a lot more jokes out of it now, because at the time, I was a kid. So I'm like, I don't get it. And there's too much silly violence going on here, because, I mean, remember aliens being blown up and people being evaporated, and well, they're now they're dead, but there wasn't so much killing and whatnot in Galaxy, but still peril, but not as bad. Still escapism. Both of them are escapism. So sure. And then in the 90s, it was such a time back then.
Yeah. What a time to be alive and to be young.
I know. Young and vibrant and ferocious and all those good things.
All of those things.
So yeah, I have news. I want to say, I guess I'm officially vaccinated, even though I don't think that really comes into effect until maybe another 2 weeks from now. But I did get the shot, and as of like an hour ago, yes,
Yay!
thank you.
You're awesome. Awesome.
I don't want to do too much bragging. I did come across a word like, I don't want to be associated with a vax hole, so I don't necessarily want to do a vax hole.
Vax hole? What is that?
Someone who has been vaccinated and goes around bragging about that they've been vaccinated.
Oh, okay. Well, I shouldn't. Okay.
I mean, it's okay. We're in like we're family, all of us, you dear listener, and Kortney, like we're in a safe space. So
This is a safe space. Did you know that I got my vaccination, my first dose the other day as well? Did I tell you about that?
You did, and I'm congratulating you again. Very well done. And you are halfway there. So woot.
Yes. Well, and I did, I will tell you, I did have some reservations, and I'm still just kind of like, praying God is, covering me. But it just makes more sense. And not because I'm anti-vax or anything like that. I do believe in vaccinations. But I just had some concerns about this, but decided, I wanted to do the most responsible thing for myself, for my family, for those that I'm around.
Right.
And honestly, the experience or side effects that COVID might bring is not something that I wanted to risk for myself or for others. So, I went ahead and got it, and, I'm for sure going to be where I need to be at the time I need to be to get the second dose, and we'll be good to go. So I commend you also for taking that step for health and safety for you and yours. It's going to be worth it now and, in the near future. So go you.
And you as well. And thank you very much. And we'll be safe. So that means we get perks that other people because there are people that are choosing not to get vaccinated. And again, that's their choice, but it's better if you do, because that way you get to go out and do things and not be like Squidward and watch SpongeBob and Patrick running out and you looking out through the blinds looking sad.
Exactly. You want to rejoin the world safely.
I mean, we'll still be on our hazmat suits, but still.
Obviously, yeah, with masks and everything. Please,
right? Exactly.
But at least we'll be safe with it,
Because Kortney, I love you, but I don't want to share the air with you just yet. Just out of safety, just out of precaution. Even though we're both vaccinated.
No, I get it. Yeah. I will be in I'll be in full precaution for the foreseeable future. This is nothing. Not much will change, if anything.
Right. I think my sister and I will celebrate accordingly. We have tentative plans. We haven't made them concrete yet, but we are going to go see. I need to get the title right. I didn't write it down. This is totally off the cuff, but I think Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong. I can't remember which one, because there is a difference. And the difference being, I don't know, 40 years. But either way, we're going to go see that movie because that is a movie. Hold on. I don't know if my microphone will pick up me tapping on the desk, but that is a movie that needs to be seen on a big screen.
We definitely heard the tap. So
okay, good. I needed that to be emphasized, because if you're going to watch like a movie with giant, like kaiju robots, monsters, you need the big screen.
All of them.
All of them.
Agreed.
So all the Pacific Rims, I had to see those on the big screen. All the Godzillas. Like I think I may even told the story about how I went to go see the last Godzilla movie in the theater, but I went with the wrong person because they were like, "This is so unrealistic," and I'm like,
"What? How dare you?"
Excuse me, madam. I was going to call her Karen, but she's not a Karen. She's just misguided.
Is worthy of a madam, though. That's for sure.
I mean, we're friendly. There are times I know there are times, you judge my judgment when like, are you sure like this is someone you want to call a friend? But they were testing those limits that day and for sure. And then I even told like a mutual friend of ours and like, yeah, you should have just brought me. And I'm like, I guess, but you were busy. And like, I mean, we all hang out and I'm still a little bitter about it because I went with the wrong person, like someone who really would have enjoyed it with me. And then we left the theater and then she's like, yeah, I wasn't into it. It wasn't realistic. I'm like, it's Godzilla fighting a 3-headed beast. There was lightning and atomic breath.
But Godzilla is not for everyone, just like Superman v. Batman is not for everyone, Sterling.
True. I mean, and we're not going to, harp on your favorite movie too much, even though 'tis the season because it is the Snyder cut of the Justice League film, a whopping 17 hours. So you can, strap in.
Excuse me? Are you serious?
No, it's only 4 days.
That's like more than 17 hours.
4 hours. 4 hours. Is that better?
No, it's not. Did you hear what you is that better?
I know. I went up and then I went higher and then I went lower to the actual. It's 4 hours.
Is it really?
It is 4 hours. Yes.
Oh my God. It's too long. First of all, they can cut it in half and it would be too long. They could cut it in fourths and it would be too long. Okay.
The fact that you mentioned that is true. They did break it up in parts, but they are releasing it all as one. So like there will be like, I think 6 parts, but like it's still, one cohesive movie. So if you do need to take a pause for a day, why would you do that? And I'm pretty sure most people are going to be sitting there like, I'm ready. Like I got my diaper on and let's do this. Okay, maybe might not be that bad. I wouldn't do that. That I would only reserve if they decided to do like the Russo cut of Avengers Endgame. So
yes, I would sit for 17 days for that one. So, but also, what do you mean they broke it up into parts? Like, how is this being released? Is it not going to be released in the theater, or what's happening?
I think it's still going to be released in theaters, but as in parts, like if you've seen a Quentin Tarantino film, they do sometimes have those like subtitles or cards that come in to say like chapter 1 and I'm pretty sure it'll be linear. I don't know if they will. Zack Snyder could do what he wants and be like chapter 3. Now we're going to go to chapter 1 and then I don't think he's going to do all that, but we'll see. I have been hearing good things based on like reviews that have been going out, just kind of glancing at the headlines. Like it's better than the Joss Whedon version that came out, 2017, I think. I already forgot what year it was. So, have that to look forward to, I suppose. The thing I was most excited about, and it is confirmed that we will see it. Now, I'm not as deep into DC lore as I am to Marvel, but I do know enough about Darkseid, the main baddie that we're going to see.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about Darkseid?
I do. A little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, not a whole lot.
We'll take that. His favorite attack move, or not his favorite attack move, my favorite attack move that he uses is called Omega Beams.
Okay.
And that's basically just you can think of Superman using his heat vision, and he's got like the heat beams that come out of his eyes. Darkseid has the same thing, except his don't necessarily need to go in a straight line. He can like zigzag and go around corners with his if he wants to.
He's fancy with his, huh?
He's fancy and he's deadly. And he's here and he's going to, I don't know, take your planet, but not in the fun way. Like I almost said Guardians of the Galaxy. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing that. So we shall see. And I'm not exactly sure when I'll be able to watch it in full, unless because it comes out Thursday, and I'm pretty sure because it always tends to happen. Like, do you people I'm just talking about people online that once something hits, they're there watching it, and Friday is just I have to avoid Twitter because people just talking about everything. Like, do you guys not work or have like any decency? But I'll keep it.
That's it right there. They just don't have the decency. Okay.
Yeah. Again, a little bitter. Let me break it down. I'm good. None of this, by the way, is on my notes for what I wanted to talk about, other than the COVID thing, the vaccine. So I'm happy about that. Grammys happened. I did not watch, but
what? Isn't that your thing, or is
I
Oscars
do like
more your thing?
Oscars more my thing, which we will discuss briefly. Grammys I didn't watch, but I was hearing things the next day and then seeing clips and who won, who didn't win. And I guess we should just congratulate Beyonce for being 4 Grammys away from having her own one-of-a-kind chess set. So she has a whopping 28 Grammys. And congratulations to all the winners. I don't know all of them. I just know a handful. Just good job. Hand claps all.
How do you feel about Beyonce's
win with Meg or Megan the Stallion. Like, not about the win itself, but I guess her reaction to the win. What are your thoughts about that, if any?
I'm not really aware of how she reacted. I didn't like, I think she was there, right? Like, oh, wait. I know she was there, but I don't
Yes,
know
she
if
was
she
there.
said anything. I like what she
I
did.
actually don't know. I know that Meg, she had, or she, I guess, allowed Meg to talk first. And I don't know that she said anything. If she did, it was pretty brief and not really a lot. But I don't know. I guess I've just been seeing the screenshots of it and or even the short videos of it, and she's just kind of unimpressed. And she's just kind of there. And it's like she's just kind of a backdrop for Meg, which is interesting because it's like Beyonce.
I think I can kind of get that or understand that from Beyonce's perspective or her point of view, because she hadn't really been at the Grammys for a number of years, and her or Jay-Z, and I'm not sure exactly why that is. I don't know if it was a protest thing, or maybe it's just not their thing. Like, hey, I'm Beyonce, I don't have to be here, but she was there. And what was funny is I heard some other podcasters basically saying that she was only there to pick up Blues Award because she won a Grammy for, I think, oh no, she won a Grammy for that song Brown Skin Girl, for being on that song. So she was,
yeah, I heard about that. Like she really actually won a real Grammy.
Yes,
Grammys are
Blue Ivy
Grammy.
has a Grammy.
I'm telling you, this is my reaction.
Oh,
and I
okay.
was just like, wait a second, the Grammys aren't real. This is proof that all of this crap is made up, and it doesn't matter. Because she literally, listen, Blue Ivy is going to run the world. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But Grammy winner? What? Huh?
Well, she's starting her EGOT list now, basically. So
okay,
next,
right.
Is either TV, movies, Tony, whatever she wants. Just do what you want. So congratulations to them all. Congratulations to Meg Thee Stallion, everybody, everywhere. So Grammys happen. Then the next day we get the Oscar nominations. And what I also found funny was I think I heard a couple people saying, like, I don't know what to be mad about, because it was actually a pretty well-rounded list. Yes, there were some snubs, some people that I was looking for to be nominated, such as Regina the King being nominated for Best Director.
Regina the King.
The King.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I didn't pronounce it correctly. And
you need to emphasize it more, is all I'm saying.
Regina the King.
The King.
The King. Yes. She was not nominated for One Night in Miami. So that is a huge misstep. However, I feel it's not too terrible because there are a number of women that were directed, or women directors that were nominated. So kudos to them. And also Delroy Lindo not being nominated for his role in Da 5 Bloods, which is a movie that does kind of stick with me. And it's weird how I'm putting this. I sometimes forget that I saw it, but when I remember I've seen it, it just brings back all the feelings that I had when I watched it. Mm-hmm. So it does kind of stick with you. Like if you just watch it, then yeah, it's going to stick with you. But after time, it goes away. But yeah, and his role in that movie, like it's like, oh yeah, definitely at least an Oscar nomination. And the fact that he wasn't, I'm like, oh, well, now I'm a little sad, because like that was a great performance. Like great performance.
Yeah.
I'm not into war movies at all, but I mean, yeah, this was good. And it was also, again, one of Chadwick Boseman's last roles, one of them, but he was nominated indeed for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So I feel there are people already predicting that he'll just go ahead and win that one, because that tends to happen with someone who's passed away. But I mean, not only that, but it was really good, and he deserves a win, and not just for that role, but like for many other roles that he's played, especially. And I will never like let it go, but Get On Up, when he played James Brown, like not even played him, he embodied James Brown.
Like he was him for that time.
Like you couldn't tell me anything else. Like, no, that's James Brown. So, but yeah, I'll have more thoughts on that on a future episode. But I want to turn it to the listeners real quick. Dear listener, dear Indubian, do you want like a special Oscars episode like I've done in the past where we kind of just analyze and make our predictions? Let me know. You can email me at indupod@gmail.com or tweet me at indub. And if you are on Facebook, then one day I will make my return. I think I told you before I hadn't been on Facebook or even checked my notifications since maybe February. And here we are at the Ides of March. And I don't know. So I don't want to recommend you contact me through Facebook. But let me know if that's something that would you want that? Would you want to hear that? Let me know. So that's Oscars. I do have a work update. And I want to tread a little lightly about this because I remember a few episodes ago we had talked with Vilissa, good friend and fellow Indubian, about I don't want to necessarily call them a coworker per se, but someone who was in the building who I wasn't sure if they were an alien or a ghost or because they would just look at me but never respond to me. But we've exchanged words since then, so I'm fine in saying that they're real and it's all good. And then I may have mentioned then, but I'm mentioning it now, but there's someone else at work who I run into often or see often enough. And I do know that I have coworkers that listen to the podcast, so I won't go too deep into unless maybe they know them. But there's a painter that works there. And I wasn't sure if I was also being like hated, like just personally. I wasn't sure if it was it. And it feels even weird to say, like, is it a race thing? Is it because I'm black? Is that why? But apparently it may not be that because I've seen this person talk to many of the rainbow at work.
Okay.
Just does not talk to me.
And
so
it could be personal.
It could be personal. And I'm wondering if at any point, maybe he might've saw me touch a wall that he just painted or maybe bumped into it with a cart and scratched the paint. Because I don't know. I don't know what I did because there's been times where we've been alone, like face to face, and I'll say good morning, and then nothing, just dead, just
silence. So you ruled out
visual acknowledgement.
Yeah. So you ruled out that he's maybe deaf or hard of hearing because you've seen him talk with other people.
Have full-fledged conversations with other people. Other men, other women, other colors, animals, probably. I don't know. But I haven't seen any plants, so I don't know if he's like, plantist.
Like a plant whisperer.
Right. But then again, I'm not a plant, so I shouldn't.
So that wouldn't really apply to you.
Not at all, no. So, I mean, if I had some green leaves sticking out of me, then maybe that'd be a little different. Like, I don't want to talk to him. He's a plant. So, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm just putting it out there. So I feel maybe I have wronged this painter at some point in my life. And he's like, I remember you. I hate you. So I'm sorry, painter. I don't know what I did, but, and it's weird too, because I don't necessarily care to talk to people when I'm at work, unless I already know them. Like I'm just trying to go about my day and I'm fine. Right.
Yeah. You're there for a paycheck. Right.
Right. But it's part of just that common decency of like, just saying good morning because I'm acknowledging you because we're sharing this space here. Right. So it just feels rude for me not to say good morning or hello or whatever, or just a simple nod. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there and apologize, I guess, for I know not what I did, but here I am holding an olive branch, unless that's something offensive. And, because if you don't like plants. So I got that off my chest. I'm good. I do have another.
I hope it resolves though. That kind of stinks to have a thing happen and you're just like, I don't know what I did. What did I do? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? And then not have any kind of resolution, I know. And it's not a thing where I need to be loved. I mean, I would like, that'd be nice, but I just want to make sure like, hey, we good? Like, we good? But so, yeah. Another thing,
to address. I was having a conversation earlier on Twitter with, I didn't pull up. I'm going to give her a shout out. Rabia, I believe. This is my first time actually saying her name out loud, but at Fairly Literary. You may have followed her too. I don't know. But she was asking about mukbang. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not. What is that?
Let me try to pull up a definition. Nope, I'll go into a story first. So I had no idea what mukbang was until a couple of years ago. There was someone who I'll say I was friendly with at the time. And we were basically peers just hanging out. And she knew that I do video stuff. She knows or knew, whatever. She knew that I did video stuff, and she was interested in doing a mukbang, and she asked me to help her with it. And I got really, really, really nervous because I'm like, I don't know what that is and why you want me to record whatever that is. It does not sound like something that I should be doing in this Christian household. So she later does explain what it is. And she's like, yeah, mukbang is basically when people like to watch someone eat. And I'm still like, okay. Yeah, okay. More specifically, and now I think I'll actually pull up the definition here because I never really looked up the definition. Like I know what it is now, but it's something that's really popular in South Korea. So that's the first thing. But it's a video, especially one that is live streamed, that features a person eating a large quantity of food. And addressing the audience. So it does serve a purpose because there are people, and I'm pretty sure it may have gotten a little bit more popular, especially in the last year, for people who are socially distancing or quarantining. And it kind of provides that feeling like you're eating with someone, but it still just feels very weird because you're just eating. And usually it's just a whole bunch of food too. It's not just you getting a bowl of soup and then you're eating the soup while you're talking to the camera. It's usually like you go to, I don't know, KFC and you order everything on the menu and then you come home and have it all displayed on the table and you start eating it while you're talking to, I don't know, the camera or whoever is on the other side of it watching you. And
wow.
Yeah, when I first heard this, I'm like, I'm not interested in this at all. And I don't think that this is real. Not even real, but just something anyone would really want to see. But I will admit I was a bit wrong because I didn't realize this was an actual thing. And it's, like I said, it's popular in South Korea. I don't quite know if it's a bigger audience here in America, but I also still don't really care. But I was asked about it, and then they asked, well, because you're a foodie, is that something that you'd be into? And I'm like, I like food, or I love food. I love talking about food, and I love eating food, but I don't necessarily want to do all of that at once while on camera, like people watching me eat food.
Right.
Nor do I want to watch people eat food. So those things are kind of weird. However, and this was the big caveat and something that both of us did agree on, I will happily eat food and do a whole mukbang thing on camera for, a little bit of money. Like if you want to pay me to watch, if you want to pay me to watch me eat food and talk to you, I will do
absolutely.
That. Right.
Yeah.
With that said, dear listener or possible viewer, if that's something that you want to see and want me to do, then sure. I mean, I have a whole Patreon that's just waiting for content that is like on demand, something that you want to see. So if that's something that you want, then come on over to like Patreon and I'll make that maybe like a $5 thing or something. So, or, something specific just for you. Like I'll even say your name. So email me indupod@gmail.com and I'll make a mukbang video just for you. And hopefully it's food that I actually like eating because I'll probably pick the food and probably just get a whole bunch of chicken wings or something. I don't know. So yeah, that's mukbang and me, or rather my aversion to it. Like this is still so weird.
It's a little interesting. But okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that breakdown. Also, the movie is Godzilla versus Kong.
Okay.
Godzilla is first. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. And there's already been so many predictions, and I agree with the predictions of like who's the winner, and the winner would be neither of them. Neither of them.
Oh, okay. Why neither? I didn't expect that, to be honest.
I'm glad you asked. And it's funny because I've watched another video that confirmed this same kind of theory. I'll put it that way, because Film Theorist was the first one that I watched that said it, and then I watched something else.
Obviously, yes.
In regards to Thor versus Hulk, and each time they fought in the comics, it was always a draw. And it goes back to corporate reasons, because you can't have these two big mega hits ever fail like against, their counterpart, because that'll make the other comic like not so great. Like, you lost to Thor. How dare you?
Gotcha.
So same thing with these movies here, with these franchises. You can't have Kong fail and then his franchise be over, and you can't have Godzilla fail and his franchise be over. So,
but can I make the argument that Godzilla's franchise right now is a little bit stronger? I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm so not into these movies, and I'm happy for you. Like, I love it for you if you are, because there's a bunch of stuff out, but it's just not me. But I feel like there's more Godzilla content out there right now than King Kong. Am I wrong? In recent years, am I wrong about that? So.
In recent years, you would be correct, because in this universe that they're building, there are 2 Godzilla films and 1 Kong film, and then this would make the third Godzilla film and then the second Kong film, even though Kong kind of had a shout out in the last Godzilla film. So
I don't know that counts, though.
It doesn't count. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be featuring the mythical creature, which I don't know that these count as mythical creatures, but let's just roll with me. That like it has to be featuring them, and they have to, like, especially if it's in the title. I mean, that's kind of obvious. And it has to like prominently have a huge prominent fight at the end between the big bad and our favorite mythical creature, whether that's Kong or Godzilla.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. And that is definitely the case. And I also would say that there are more Godzilla films than there are Kong films.
Yes, so that's what I feel too. Yeah. I mean, the latest King Kong film I can remember is the one with Jack Black and Naomi Watts and what's his name? Adrian Brody, maybe. That's the last one that I can remember. That's definitely the last one I saw because I really actually loved the movie, and I just really liked it. But it's been since then, since I've seen a movie from either one. But I just feel like I see Godzilla's name appear a lot more often.
Yeah, you do, because there are more movies, and Japan is still making Godzilla movies, and there's one where like
they don't want him to destroy it again. I mean, come on, I would too.
I mean, I don't know the details of how the 99 Godzilla, I'm meaning 1999, which they don't even call Godzilla anymore. They just call it Zilla, because they're like, yeah, you're not a real Godzilla at all. So there's a whole controversy, controversy. How do they say it in English? I don't remember. There's a whole controversy about that one, and it's almost like that one doesn't exist, even though it does, but it doesn't, because I think in one of the Japanese versions they recreated that one just so the real Godzilla can kill him. So
wow,
or battle him or something. I don't know. I haven't watched too many of the Japanese ones. I did start. I never finished it, but I did start the original Godzilla. One back in the 50s, but I never got to finish it. I just got distracted. I got distracted and never, got back to it. So I need to go find it, see if I can finish it.
You do.
I do. So, and that is the most recent King Kong film, however, is the one that has a bunch of the Avengers in it. It has got Brie Larson. It has Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, who's not a Avenger, but he's in it. And
I mean, he's kind of an Avenger in his own right, though. I mean, let's be honest.
I suppose. I see you stretching. I'll just give it to you. And who is the? Why can't I remember?
Just let me have this one.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I can't. Tom Hiddleston.
Oh wow, that's like a good portion of him for real.
Yes, he's the star, and I couldn't think of his name, and I wanted to just say Loki, but like not Loki. What is his real name? So, yeah, he's the actual star of that film, and yeah, that one it was pretty good. I mean, it was definitely different than the Jack Black version, which I will admit I was not very fond of, but I think
really,
I think because it felt a bit too long to me, like it was just.
It was pretty long.
Yeah. It had a whole.
There's a lot of filler content that probably could have been cut to shave off a bit of that seat time. But so I hear you on that one.
I feel it was Peter Jackson just trying to do what he did with Kong, like what he did with the Lord of the Rings, other than splitting it like, hey, let's make this 3 movies. Like, no, let's not. So it's like, okay, how about 3 hours? Yeah. So I'm like,
well, the whole bug scene, sorry if this is a spoiler, but I don't think it doesn't really spoil the plot. So the whole bug scene could have been cut or just made shorter or just cut altogether. Would have been cool too. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You say spoiler. I've seen the movie, but I don't remember. So it's like you're spoiling my memory, I guess, or my forgotten memory.
Well, something happens and they fall down this like canyon of sorts. And so it's dark and wet. And so as you can imagine on this planet or this piece of earth where everything is just larger than it should be.
Skull Island, right. Yes.
Skull Island. Yes, you're right. Yes. Forgot that. Whatever. So they're down there, they fall down this canyon and as it were on any other place on Earth, bugs and insects and gross, creepy, crawly things tend to congregate in the darkest and dankest and wettest and moistest of locations. And so there's this horde of and variety of bugs and critters down there. And they're huge. Huge. You don't remember this?
The reason why is because I think right now I'm thinking of The Hobbit, and he may just like, hey, let's reuse this for The Hobbit, or rather, hey, let's reuse this for King Kong. So they're just interchangeable for me right now. And the reason also why I don't remember is because the recent Kong movie is so like in my mind right now, because they also have big giant bugs. Now they're not they're not in any like deep cavernous crevices is
probably correct.
Okay.
Crevice is acceptable though.
Crevice. They're not any deep crevices, and therefore, but the bugs and creepy crawlies and all the things that will kill you, they still exist and do their murdering and whatnot. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but it's much more out in the open. Like they're out in the woods, the sun is shining, and then stab. So,
Ew. Oh.
I think.
Yikes.
I can't quite remember. I just know like, oh, I like that character. And now they're eaten or they're stabbed. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why we're talking about this. And I think we should stop because now I'm getting itchy and feeling gross. Because all I can remember is this dang scene that lasted way too long. And as far as I can remember, didn't actually serve the plot or help it move forward in any way. So whatever. Like
with that, all of that said, I will say that I do recommend also this Kong movie, which I think is actually called Skull Island, because again, that's part of the mythos of King Kong. That's where he's from, and everything grows big. Side note: King Kong is not at his full size in that movie. But in this coming movie, he has grown up to the size he is supposed to be, which is either equal to that or a little bit bigger than Godzilla.
So what kind of size is he in the beginning?
In the Skull Island movie that I've seen, that takes place in the 70s, where this movie that's coming out next couple of weeks is now, like currently.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay, I hear you.
So that's a little factor, a little nugget. I mean, he's still huge. Don't get me wrong. He's still knocking helicopters out of the sky. Like he literally does that in the movie. And it's
of course
some fantastic scenes, great cinematography. So I do recommend checking out. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I could check real quick, but I recommend watching it and enjoying it because I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. I left,
nice.
Left the theater stomping all around like, ah, ha, ha. Not that's what he does, but just made you feel good. It's on HBO Max. So go check it out. Nice. Which makes sense because they're all Warner Brothers. They probably should have both Godzilla movies on there. So yeah, definitely go take a look. But that's also not what I don't know again how we got down that path because I needed to tell you and I forgot to tell you last episode. And I told you like the last time we talked, like we have to talk about St. Patrick's Day in Boston, even though we did that several episodes ago. I said I was going to give you a recap of that. Didn't quite remember. So, but part of the reason, and we'll get to that, the other reason why I needed to bring it up, but my adventures on St. Patrick's Day in Boston were, in a word, terrifying. No.
Oh no.
that's too not terrifying because it'll make it seem like I didn't enjoy myself, and at times I didn't, but I was with good company. Like I was with my good friend Jenny, who currently lives in or around Boston. I'm not sure if she's in the city proper, but we went out. I think she was living out there. So she had me come out there to hang out with her for St. Patrick's Day, which was very, very chilly, chillier than I expected. And I ended up having to buy a scarf because I did not have one. And now that is
a
little nippy. And I have a keepsake now of this green. I think it's a Celtics. I think it says Celtics on it. No, it just says Boston. Either way, I have this, and it's kind of short too. It's not a very big scarf or a long one. I have a much better one. But anyway, it's a keepsake. And what I did not like about it, as you and I, we're both introverts. So we like, so much people, just enough. I'm like, okay, it's enough peopling. That's enough. But
yes.
This is basically an excuse for Bostonians to go in the streets and be drunk for a while and temperature does not bother them. And then they're having a parade. It's a loose term to describe what was happening. And once you get swept up in the streets with mass amounts of people who are, and I'm assuming they're saying words. I'm not really sure, but I was cold. And then we had to take shelter in some of the establishments that were actually open, like a pizza parlor. So we went there. Do I still call them pizza parlors? Anyway, we went to go stop because we were also hungry because, again, introvert and all of these people all around me. I needed to get some food to help me get through the rest of the day because I'm like, oh, we made it so far. How do we get back?
Refuel. Yeah.
Oh, it was exhausting. And meanwhile, I'm also like cursing the heavens, or rather not necessarily the heavens per se, but the people who are like on the rooftops of buildings looking down at us. I'm like, why can't I be there? I wish I was there and not down here with the dregs of the Bostonians down here. And he's like a commoner or something. I don't know. I did not enjoy that part of the experience. And then trying to get back to find, we took the train. No, we got an Uber there, and then we took a train back, but we couldn't find the train station. So it was a whole lot of wandering around. And this is after, the crowds have died down. So we're trying to just find warmth and a train station. So it was an adventure going through Boston. That was a very short version of that story. You can find the more extended version when it was much more fresh in my mind, going back to the episode called Daddy's Dairy. And I know this because the hotel that I stayed at was across the street from this one lone ice cream parlor. And I do know that people still use that term, but it was this one lone ice cream place called Daddy's Dairy, and it just seems so bizarre that that was the only thing there. So
also the title is a little cray.
A little sketch. And then I did go in because like in the chat group I was in, they were like, you have to go over there just to see, like, to make sure that, you know, they're actually selling ice cream over there and it's not like some drug front or some, I don't know, prostitution ring or something, and whatever. So I did go, and yeah, there were mostly young women working there, but they did have ice cream, which I did have. And unfortunately, I did not have my Sensodyne with me because I am 97 years old and my teeth are super sensitive when it comes to cold things. And then I had a toothache for the rest of the night.
Oh no. Well, that sucks.
It sucks, but the ice cream was good.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Now, as for the hotel I stayed in, or rather motel, I think it's Motel 6. That's what it's called, right? Let me check just make sure.
Yes, it is.
It is? Okay. Yes. Stayed at a Motel 6. And I think this was my first time staying there. And I was kind of just booked it because it was inexpensive. And I'd never really stayed at one before. But apparently, I guess they're all pretty uniform and all pretty just the basics of basics.
Yeah. Yeah. Real basic.
Right. But there was just something off about it. Like the walls were freshly painted. The furniture looked like it was brand new. And I was just convinced.
Ooh, wait, what? Yeah, I don't know did you tell me this part?
I don't know if I went into detail, but everything seemed new. And I'm like, you know what? Somebody was murdered here. That's probably what it is.
Obviously. That's what I was thinking.
These walls are too white. The things just seemed, because compared to the outside, like just I almost want to call it the catwalk, but like you walking up to the to your room and everything, and the sidewalk, the walk that, because I was on the second floor, and and the fact that there was like the walkway, there were like 2 or 3 locks on my door. So
ooh.
Yeah, I mean, because
I'm really glad you made it out of there, buddy.
It was an adventure.
That's pretty sketch.
I had that adventure, and then I also had the adventure in Boston. So, like, it was a fun-filled weekend for sure. A St. Patrick's Day I will soon never forget. So, it was quite the time. But the thing that got me, which, you know, and I still stayed there despite this happening, was I think I may have been watching Food Network. I just remember Guy Fieri stuffing his face with some who knows what. And I go off to the bathroom, and I just do this every time I go to a hotel for the first time. Just do a quick inspection, just check, look around, see what everything's going on. And I go in the bathroom, look around, see that, oh, good, I have a bar of soap and a towel. Great. For fantastic. And, you know, this little 1-by-1 bathroom. So that's great. So come back out, and I noticed that Guy Fieri is no longer on television. Instead, it's some, I don't know, Republican person on Fox News. I'm like, I did not change the channel to Fox News. I would never change the channel to Fox News. So I'm convinced on that day that there was a old Republican ghost in my room that decided, like, finally someone came in the room so I can go back to watching my right-leaning news network.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I'm convinced I didn't meet said ghost, but I just know that, you know,
I have so many questions for him or her. Probably I don't know. It could be anybody.
Could have been. I mean, it could have been a woman. I'm just assuming it was an old balding man, or balded, since, you know, he was passed on. So I don't think he's still balding. Right.
Boom.
So, past tense. And just, I don't know how he felt about a black person being there in his room. Well,
he just wanted your TV at that point, I think.
Supposedly, or maybe
I don't know.
Maybe that's what he was watching before he got murdered, or while he was getting murdered. I don't know.
Probably while. That just makes sense. It's poetic, you know.
Yeah, upset that he didn't finish that episode of Hannity, but whatever. It's all. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. So say all that just to lead into a little bit of a spookums, even though that wasn't all that spooky, but was my brief interaction with
the other side.
The other side, yes. Our good friend Berto shared with us. Again, I'm pulling out things that when we were on hiatus, I forgot to talk about, like when we came back. And he had told us that, I believe he even gave us like some kind of photographic, not evidence, but just showing us as he told a story to us, which I should try to bring up real quick. The only thing I didn't have prepared, aside from my whole stories about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and King Kong and how we got from that movie to this movie. But yes, he told us a story that we'll just say that an auntie came to visit him. And his message to us goes like this. I think I had a paranormal experience today. Was in the living room watching a movie because I couldn't sleep. There's a lamp directly behind the sofa. Sometime after 5:30 a.m., the lamp gradually turned itself on. I could feel like there was someone standing behind me, but no one was there. So, oh, and further notation is that it only does that fade on off when you hit the on the remote, but that turns on 3 other living room lamps. That one does not turn on without the others turning on top. But I can understand. I have one of these in my room as well. And, well, something similar, I believe. Because he showed us a picture of what it looked like. And he said it was, because we asked him about what movie he was watching, and he said, oddly enough, it was a movie called Juliet of the Spirits, which I still have not investigated and looked into. But he felt that his house ghost subscribes to the turn the lights on, you'll hurt your eyes theory. So that
yes,
that lets us know that yes, that this isn't of the older generation, and a benevolent spirit too, one that's like, I'm trying to keep you from having to
for him.
Right. Because
I love it.
So we definitely do appreciate when you share your stories with us. So again, indubepod@gmail.com should you want to share any paranormal activity that has, or activities. I really want to say Activia, but
but we are not sponsored by Activia this time, or are we?
We aren't. That is a great segue for an ad, which we'll take, and then we do have other sponsors, but we'll take a quick break because we do have some kind of sponsor. Don't know who, but we'll return to the Indube Podcast.
The Indube Podcast.
It's that time of year again. Some festive holiday? Could be. Anniversary? Sure, why not? A night socializing with friends? Absolutely. Bring the class, share a wink, pour a glass of wine from Wink, your monthly online wine subscription. Try a box on me by going to j.mp/winkindube, all one word, and take a survey to determine your flavor profile, and you'll get up to 4 quality wine selections tailored to your taste. Wine not to your liking? Try something else. Not ready for the next month's shipment? No problem. Need more right away? Lush. I jest. Wine acquisition has never been easier, so give a try on me. j.mp/WINCINDOOB, because anytime can be wine time. And welcome back to the Indube Podcast. And oh my God, I had a brain fart. Okay. Because the ad we had, I mean, it was mind blowing, that particular ad, even though I've heard it before, but still just like, wow. So I think we're going to get into Word Watch because it's just about that time.
Word Watch.
I was going to use a word that Kortney, I recall telling you about just the other day. And I did some further research and, oh man, I have to see how to use this word. I noticed that forsooth, I can't even use it right. The word I want to use is Forsooth. It means indeed, often used ironically or to express surprise or indignation. So
a fancy word.
I know. Forsooth.
I love that.
I was hoping it meant something like seeing the future, like soothsayer, but it's not. But forsooth. And I was looking at the examples like, forsooth, I believed you were telling the truth from the beginning. So like, indeed. But it almost sounds like the sarcasm.
That. Right. It is very fancy, but like in a shoving it in your face type of fancy. Like when you get that stimmy for $1,400 and you're just like, you go to Burger King and you're like, I want the throne. You know, like that's what that, you know, word kind of reminds me of, honestly.
I'll just say I saw that tweet too.
I know you didn't.
There were quite a few of those that I just absolutely loved. Another example, Kayla noticed that forsooth, he was studying for the test. So it does sound like it's not necessarily sarcastic, but
it could totally be taken sarcastically or even said in a sarcastic manner, though.
Now, I do just want to say it once, and I think maybe, I'll just say it the one time because I don't want to be slapped with an explicit label on this episode. But I did tell a tiny little fib to you because I didn't do my full research on the
what?
Yeah, on the word that I wanted to use after watching the fantastic film from Steve Alexander. Wait, Steve Alexander? Steve McQueen. Wow. What am I thinking of? Yeah, the director, Steve McQueen. Mangrove. There is so much vernacular in that movie that I loved and clung to. And now, like, whenever I'm just upset with someone, I will tell them to, oh man, I'm already misquoting it, but get out of me eyeball range. So I just love it, but it works better if you have a Jamaican accent. And
sure.
The other term, I'm only going to say this one time, is skunt. And that is a derogatory term. I had to do a further research. And I'm like, oh, and yes, it is a combination of a couple words that you think that it might sound like. So yes. It's a
beautiful word, though.
It truly is. Like, it fits in so many things. And
that's what he said.
I felt like you hiding your face as that kind of just escaped from you.
Escaped from me, yes. That's exactly what happened. I tried to suppress it, and I couldn't. You know.
Sorry, children. Don't worry about any of that, and don't ask your parents. It means nothing. It's nothing. Look at the birds outside. Look at the destruction. It is.
Look at the flowers. Oh no, not that one. So many. I'm not gonna. If you don't know that reference, I'm so not gonna ruin it for you because it's a downer, a Debbie Downer.
Oh.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah. Either way, look at the distraction over there. Right.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. Forsooth is the word, and we're moving on to Sheboygan news.
Good morning, Sheboygan.
And the fact that I don't have any. But once again, dear listener, Darren Dubian, I welcome your submissions. Not necessarily for news, but I have I think at least 3 times now, someone has sent me something like a picture of something that says Sheboygan on it. So it warms the cockles of my heart to know that you think of me whenever Sheboygan is like mentioned or shown. Again, shout out to Berto, shout out to our good friend Ariel, and I think even my mother also
understands your connection.
Right. Ashley too, because she was working for a company that I think their home office was in Sheboygan. So she found that to be delightful and liked to tell me about it. So yes. So I do welcome you to send me like if it's mail, you don't necessarily need to send me that. I don't need to see that, like, unless, you know, you're like Ari and you kind of cover up the address or the pertinent sensitive information just to show me that it's from Sheboygan. But you know, It's all good. Or if you happen to wear any of the merchandise. Or what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I heard or twice on my end. Maybe there's the delay, but it said I heard or like.
Oh yeah, I said it twice. I was emphasizing.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was me being excited. Okay. I'll just retake it again. Or
Okay.
You can purchase merchandise such as Good Morning Sheboygan t-shirts or tank tops or mugs, whatever, and take pictures of those with you either wearing it, holding it, what have you, and I will gladly share that as well. And I thank you and appreciate you. Not just the Sheboygan, but anything from the Indupe store. And I am also sad to announce that a few things have been taken off the store, which I'm aware of. I'm hardened by. One of which I know only one person has I almost said a copy, but they have a blurred shirt that is in the style of Harry Potter. And Warner Brothers was like, we don't like that. And they took that away. They also took away my Seinfeld t-shirt, which just has the names, just the first names of the characters. And they're like, we don't like that. And they took that off too.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, I'm a little sad. And then today they took one off the church store. And I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I can see them taking that one. It was the one where I put the church logo in the Batman symbol. So they're like, no.
Gotcha.
What I don't need them to do is look further and see that there's one for Wonder Woman as well. But I think that one is customized enough that they might be like, whatever, you can keep it. And also for Superman, other than still got the shield, but it's not an S in the middle. Again, it's the church logo. So, so we'll see. I did a Captain Marvel one too, but we'll see. And I was trying not to use that phrase because that is my favorite phrase from our good friends Megashine. That is like whenever they give a news bit about something that they're a little skeptical about, you can just kind of hear it when they say, we'll see. And I absolutely love it. Yes, that is something to take a drink to anytime you hear them say, we'll see. Or it's like one of those things, like it's not a real Megashine episode if no one says it at all. So
gotcha. They must just those are their off episodes, right? They're filler episodes.
Probably. So they should get it trademarked. So like it's like Megashine ... We'll see. TM.
You need to tell them that if you haven't already.
I should. I keep meaning to every time I listen to their episode, and I've got one like sitting in reserve waiting to be listened to, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. And I'm going to wait to see if they say it. And if they don't, then I'm going to yell at them because they have no idea that I'm talking about them right now. That I'm waiting to see if they'll say, we'll see. So we'll see. And now I owe them royalties.
Roll credits.
But let's see. This episode is brought to you by, I forgot I did have another sponsor, by the Notion app. And I want to give a shout out to Southern Cynic for recommending that app to me. I'm giving that a try as I keep notes for this episode, as I actually did some preparation ahead of time, other than like the first chunk of the episode. All of that was not scripted whatsoever. I mean, the show normally isn't. I just have little talking points. But the Notion app, which works seamlessly between my phone, whether that be an Android or iPhone, I may or may not have both, but it works also with your desktop computer that you can browse and have a whole keyboard and everything. So it works interchangeably and flawlessly, seamlessly. Get the Notion app today for free on your device of choice. And then if you want more people, you have to pay for that, but whatever, it's all good. And what I do like about it though, is that I can actually put like whole entire web pages and I can just click on it. And rather than go to said website and have to worry about the loading and the ads and blah, 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 I can just get to where I need to get to and read all that good stuff.
Nice.
So I do want to throw in one space story, but I need you to choose. Do you want to know about scientists that want to send 335 million seed, sperm, and egg samples to the moon, or or do you want to know about astronomers amazed to find a supermassive black hole wandering aimlessly through space?
Oh my goodness. So they're both very intriguing to me. I saw the one about unloading the sperm on the moon today. Can we save the other one for later? Because I actually want to know about both. I need to know about both.
It's funny.
I don't understand.
Both of them actually did come out today. And I just did a random space search because I was looking for something else. Like I had an article that had other articles attached to it, and I couldn't find it. Like they didn't have those articles anymore. I was like, I need fresh space news because like this article's already old anyway. And I was tired of talking about oh my goodness, why do I always struggle trying to remember how to say this name correctly? Amoy? No.
Meow meow.
Amua. There it is.
Amua.
Right. Meow meow. But no, Amua. Yes, because Amua is long gone, floating away, and never to be seen from again. There is another space object called Borisov or something. I don't know. I was bored, so I moved on. So, which one? Again.
The first one with the sperm on the moon.
Of course. Why is it that the sperm the one that that's the triggering sperm I need to learn about? Anyway, scientists are pulling inspiration from Noah's Ark in a new lunar proposal they call a global insurance policy. They hope to send an ark to the moon filled with 335 million sperm and egg samples in case a catastrophe happens on Earth. Instead of 2 of every animal, the solar-powered moon ark would cryogenically store frozen seed, spore, sperm, and egg samples. Good Lord, that's alliteration to a T. From some
a nightmare, yeah.
And I wasn't done. Okay, let me try that again. The solar-powered moon ark would cryogenically store frozen seed, spore, sperm, and egg samples from some 6.7 million Earth species. Whew. Not shout out, but Audible or I don't know, Calm. Would you like to hire me? I'm pretty good at cold reads. Come on. University of Arizona researcher Jekin Thanga and a group of his students proposed the concept in a paper presented during the IEEE Aerospace Conference this week. Earth is naturally a volatile environment. Thanga, a professor of aerospace and mechanical engine. Okay, Audible, forget that part. I didn't stumble over there. That was as humans, we had a close call about 75,000 years ago with the Toba supervolcanic eruption. I remember that, which caused a 1,000-year cooling period and, according to some, aligns with an estimated drop in human diversity. Because human civilization has such a large footprint, if it were to collapse, that could cause a negative cascading effect on the rest of the planet. Thanga highlighted climate change as the main concern, especially in its contributions to rising sea levels, a deadly global pandemic, and large-scale nuclear war are 2 other major possibilities that Doomsday Clock researchers cite for catastrophic disasters. And we're not close to any of those whatsoever. We're good. We're fine. And hold on, let me scroll through because like I already said, this is something I have not read previously. And pictures. The idea is to store the ark within a network of lava tubes, about 200 of which were discovered beneath the moon's surface in 2013. They formed billions of years ago when underground lava streams formed massive caverns, crevices, more than 300 feet in diameter. These tubes have remained untouched for 3 to 4 billion years, and scientists suggest that they could provide much needed protection from the solar radiation, meteors, or temperature changes on the surface. While the moon is not hospitable to humans, its harsh features make it a great place to store samples that need to stay very cold and undisturbed for hundreds of years at a time. There's pictures of the team's model for the underground ark. It includes solar panels and at least 2 elevator shafts, and it kind of looks like your typical moon base. And all right, this last chunk here is based on some quick back of the envelope calculations. Thanga said the transporting about 50 samples from each of the 6.7 million species, totaling 335 million samples, would take about 250 rocket launches. That's over 6 times more than it took to build the International Space Station, which required 40 rocket launches. It's not crazy big, Thanga said. In my mind, I'm thinking that's a lot of rocket launches, but okay.
Right.
He continues, we were a little bit surprised about that. The team's proposal for the Ark includes solar panels on the moon's surface for electricity, elevator shafts down into the facility, and dishes housed in cryogenic preservation modules. The seeds must be cooled to minus 292 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold. And cells to minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold, okay. For reference, great, because I'm wondering COVID factor into this and the sentence. For reference, the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is stored at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oops. Scrolled up back to the pictures. Okay. Temperatures that cold would likely freeze metal, so the team has introduced a type of floating shelf made of cryo-cooled superconductor material and powered by quantum levitation using a powerful magnet. I need video of this immediately.
Me too. I want to see all this in action.
True. It's like they locked in place by strings, but invisible strings, Thanga said. When you get to cryogenic temperatures, strange things happen. Some of it just looks like magic, but it is based on tried and laboratory tested physics principles at the edge of our understanding. They also suggest robots navigate the facility on magnetic tracks, like Amazon. Obviously, a lot of research is still needed, including the effects of a lack of gravity on the seeds and the plan for communication with Earth. What amazes me about projects like this is that they make me feel like we are getting closer to becoming a space civilization and to a not very distant future where humankind will have bases on the moon and Mars, said Alvaro Diaz Flores Quimanero, a University of Arizona doctoral student leading the thermal analysis for the project. Multidisciplinary projects are hard due to their complexity, but I think that the same complexity is what makes them beautiful.
It's so poetic.
It is. I will post that link on our show notes so you can read all the stuff that I skipped and see all the pretty pictures, which I think some of these pictures are links to other stories, but that's okay because they're there. So, yeah. I guess we won't be able to see this happening for a little while, but I have seen video of, I think, this quantum freezing thing that they were talking about, and I have to see if I can find that and send that to you if I can find it. But
I would love to see it.
I will do my research and try to find it. Let me run and get my phone because it's time for your Black History fact.
Black History.
Black History. Black History. Black History.
Facts.
After much waiting, we are finally going to give you the quick story. Well, I don't want to say quick as in like there's not a lot to talk about, but the story of the newest senator for Georgia, the first Black senator, Raphael Warnock. Because we've been teasing him for like all year. Not teasing like, you're a senator. But no, meaning that like we're finally going to talk about him. So, let's see. He was born July 23rd, 1969, as he is an American pastor and politician. He's a junior senator from Georgia, as we all mentioned. Now, let's skip ahead to the part that I found interesting. Let's see. In the 90s, Warnock served as youth pastor and then assistant pastor for a Abyssinian Baptist Church in New York. While Warnock was pastor at that church, he declined to hire workfare recipients as part of the organized opposition to then Mayor Rudy Giuliani's workfare program. That's not what I wanted to read. Skipping ahead a little bit more. See, I took notes, but I didn't really take notes. I lied. Yeah. What do you need to know? He was a great guy. He worked with people like Barack Obama. He actually did a climate change interfaith meeting at his church with Al Gore. He's very progressive for being like in a Baptist black
Southern
Black
church.
Right, because there's a lot of things that even other church other people within the ministry are like, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you're for abortion rights and gay marriage and Planned Parenthood? He opposes concealed carry and called for the passage of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, which makes sense. Big support of the Affordable Care Act. So he's already doing great things, and he just started. So he's definitely one to watch and to continue to support. And I'm excited, happy for him. I'm glad to see what he does next.
Me too. Very glad that he's on the scene. Looking forward to what he's going to do next, and just hopeful, just hopeful for what he and Ossoff, the other state senator, represent. And I'm happy to see them, happy that they're representing the state and the South ultimately. So yeah, good stuff.
Great stuff indeed. Before we close out, I do have some breaking news. I'm so sorry, I forgot. Can you give me some breaking news?
Sure.
Movie Pass. Yes, you remember Movie Pass.
Yes. Let me hear about it. I saw something online about this, so please inform us. What's this all about?
I really don't have much to inform other than the fact that their website is up and running and counting down. Something is happening in 5 days. I don't know what, but
I can tell you are frustrated about it.
I am, because I was, again, as I was getting news articles ready, this one crossed the timeline. I'm like, what? Movie Pass? What? I thought you guys, fizzled out and died, but no, apparently not. They are still doing something, and we'll find out what that something is in 5 days. So, I guess we'll have a follow-up in the next episode. But as for right now, as of, again, breaking the wall here, it is the 16th that we are recording of March. And like I said, the Ides of March, kind of. Yeah. The 15th, but yeah, whatever, who's counting? So yeah, I'm really, really curious, because I thought they were gone with the wind. Movie reference. But they are no longer, they're doing something, and it's moviepass.ventures. If you ever want to, if you want to go and check it out. I went on an actual desktop computer. Let me try it again now, see if it changed, because it came up like it was supposed to be on a mobile screen. And I'm like, what's happening? So, and I don't really know. I have no idea. It could be nothing. Oh, okay. Now it looks like a regular screen again. 5 days and 14 hours from now. And they have a contact button, so you can mail them. And maybe I send them an email. What are you talking about? Oh, it also says Movie Pass TM. The movie is about to start, period. 5 days and 14 hours.
I just have so many questions. I need to know what's going on. I don't know.
I don't know either, and I'm very curious. And I have probably the same questions. So maybe it's a press conference that they're doing in 5 hours. I don't know. And then they Movie Pass Man comes out and I am Iron Man, and then just it starts. I have no idea. I've run out. Do you have any shout outs, any recommendations, anything of that nature that you would like to share with good people?
Just remember to wash your hands for 20 seconds, wear your masks, get vaccinated, and then continue to wear your masks. And, we're still in this thing. We are still in it together, this pandemic. So please don't drop your guard just yet. We're so close to finishing this race, or at least getting closer to the finish line. So please don't let the time that has passed get to you. Don't let up on all your precautions, because hopefully they have worked for you as they have worked for me and mine. And just be kind to each other. Everybody's going through something. most times you'll never know about it. Just be kind to one another. You never know what kind of sunshine or light or encouragement you might bring to them.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. That happens every now and
then. Like the first chunk of that was like, are you stealing
PSA?
Yeah, because I have that my closing, but I don't have anything nearly as poetic. But that was very lovely and touched.
Thank you.
Well, you can follow me in all things that, and I had to, kind of just break that
sensitivity,
right? That the softness and delicateness, wipe away the tears and whatnot, and the flowers. This is me clawing through Godzilla. Okay, I don't want to get copyrighted, suited, or something. Whatever. Follow me on all things at Indoob. Go to Indoob.com. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live without regrets and live for the folks you love. Please wash your legs, your face, bottoms of your feet, the undersides of your dishes. And as Kortney already said, get vaccinated and wear your mask.
Yes.
2, if you want, like I do. Be cool like me. Wear 2 masks. And then, they could be the same color. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Or you can get one of my masks from, the store, my store. And then wear another mask under it, so you can show people the mask that you bought from my store outside of it. See, that's just you. Anyway, I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
No.
That was Godzilla. Thanks for listening to the Indoob podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indoob network. Want more Indoob? Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Indoob, and on Facebook at IndoobPod. You can contact us and send Ask Indoob questions by emailing indoobpod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the TeePublic store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indoob network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit Indoob.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time. Catching you.
That was some impression.
He's got those different vocal points that he hits, and
he
can't quite do that with my human vocal cords.
Range,
right. I don't have the range that Godzilla has.
I understand. Not many do, so I get it.
Or the atomic breath, which I don't want to have, but
No. It's like the ultimate dragon breath. Nobody actually wants that.
No, but it's very cool to watch. So again, it's highly recommended you watch those movies if you haven't already.
Yes, sir. I haven't.
Okay, well,
I have not.
HBO Max. This is brought to you by HBO Max.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production. Hey there, friend. Enjoying this podcast production? I bet your sweet buttery face you are. I bet you're also thinking, how can I support this show and look awesome doing it? Aside from telling your best pal and all their kin, you can head over to Indoob.com, and 2 clicks later, after hitting the store tab, you'll find yourself with several fun and fancy swag brought to you by the fine folks at the Indoob Network and TeePublic. If you're a fan of Indoob, Food Fight, or anything under the Indoobian sun, you can find it plastered on mugs, hoodies, pillows, cases, bags, and of course, t-shirts. Hurry on over now, and you may catch a sale with all tees 30% off. Seriously, they have sales like every other week. So head on over to Indoob.com or teepublic.com. That's TEEPUBLIC.com and type Indoob in the search bar and continue to pod with the best.